Go ahead.
Shall we start? Ms. Gibbons, call to order.
Commissioner Ancona, Commissioner Bashand,
Here.
Commissioner Conway, Commissioner DeHaas,
Here.
Commissioner Paskowitz, Chairman Sadil,
Here.
Commissioner Wagner, Commissioner Wimett.
Here. Okay, a point of order. I will seat Commissioner Moet for Commissioner Paskowitz this evening. Okay, moving on to acceptance of minutes, approval of minutes from meeting of September 19th, 2023. Do I have any omissions or corrections from the commission? Seeing and hearing none, may I have a motion to accept the minutes of the regular meeting from September 19th, 2023?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Wimett. May I have a second? Second by Commissioner DeHaas. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Minutes pass. 4-0. Okay, moving on to, we have a public participation. We'll skip the public hearing for this month. We have a public participation of non-agenda items. Each speaker is limited to 2 minutes. Is anyone online?
There is. They do not have their hand raised.
Rose may be calling in, so.
Oh, she hasn't had a chance.
She just doesn't have her hand raised, so.
Moving on to item 6, new business application 2023-13 for construction of an 18-foot by 36-foot in-ground pool with poured concrete patio in the Upland Review area at 9 Grandview Drive. Applicant owner contact is Michael Girallo, excuse me. Okay. Step forward and do your presentation. State your name and address for the record.
Sure. Michael Girallo, 9 Grandview Drive. And just looking for the commission's approval to I guess replace the existing structure we have in the backyard. It's there's like a 2-tiered deck, wood deck, and then an above ground pool with remove that and then put the 18 by 36 in ground with stamped concrete patio. And I guess the patio area is about 950 square feet in total. And of course, there's going to be a fence, surrounding that as well.
Mr. Girallo, if I may, the red dotted lines, what do those represent?
So
Can you zoom in on that, sir, Mr.
Yeah.
Inkley? Just zoom in on the photo, please.
So the red dotted lines would be the full scope of the affected area, I guess you would say. So that's those are the boundaries of where the stamped concrete would go. So you get the pool is the hard red line, and the dotted lines are where the patio would be.
So if I can interject here, I believe we were talking about that's going to be as limited disturbance within the URA.
Yeah.
The dash red line.
Okay, that whole squarish area.
Because of what he's going to be removing and then replacing in there.
Okay, so that was one of my questions. What was the before and the after condition? So the extent of those dashed lines is that extent that we're speaking of in your narrative.
That's correct.
Okay. And the blue line with the X's, the center line-ish, that is the silt fence area.
Yeah.
Yep. That is silt fence, correct.
Now, if I may, you have to get further.
Please.
So at a high level, there's a steep slope down from that area, right? I noticed by the gradings that you have on the map,
Yep.
there's a sort of a small embankment where the pool's going to be, then down into the actual wetland. Can you describe that area for me?
Sure. So the backyard, it's relatively flat. Like if you were to look at the footprint of my home, if you were to go straight back, that's relatively flat. I mean, it does tear down or slope down a bit toward the far part of the back of the property, but on the left where the wetlands area is, it certainly tapers down and then into that drainage. It's not a significant drop off until you actually get to to the cut, like the drainage right away. But it tapers down that direction.
Right, and I can speak a little bit to that. It is a drainage swale. It is owned by the town, and it does convey town water through that channel to the rear of his property and out through Edward Street, et cetera, down that area.
See, that was my next question. That we own, is that town property or the wetland?
Property, yes, that
So is there a
strip.
connectivity in that wetland, or is it just?
It's a drainage swale, basically, until it gets farther to the south there, and then it gets into Rockhole Brook eventually.
Okay.
It's not in a pipe at all anywhere along?
Commissioner Bashan?
No, I'm sorry, I believe there's culvert pipes underneath the streets, but otherwise it's an open channel. I believe at least until Edward Street, and then it may go underground once it gets on the other side of Edward Street heading south.
So it's an unnamed tributary.
Yeah, basically, it's a drainage swale. It's been there for, when I can tell, for years. That's why the town ended up getting it, because everybody knew that it got used as such. And that's
So
what it
when
does.
rainfall is heavy, there is water there, and then it percolates, or is it?
The water moves through that pretty well. It flows.
Okay.
And I can honestly speak, in my years in engineering, I never had a drainage complaint for that swale that I recall.
So one last question I have with the pool itself, the thing with in-grounds is the leakage possibility. And is there anything, how is that being mitigated? How does that normally, that there's no wells in the area or anything like that, or?
I have city water, town water, so
Okay.
I don't know of any, active wells or anything. If there is, I could take a note if you wouldn't mind, and I can ask my
Take an action?
contractor and,
Sure.
and see what the.
But the thing is, like I said, it is with these in-grounds, the earth is moving. And how is that going to be lined to avoid any type of leakage down into the groundwater?
I mean, typically these in-ground pools have some type of liner, and I don't know what he has spec'd out, whether it's gonna be a concrete or
No, I can answer that.
Absolutely.
I didn't mean to cut you off. It is gonna be it's gonna be a lined pool, so. Again, whatever that
Okay.
material is.
Mhm. That's my main concern, being so close to that wetland, and there is flow there. How do we monitor that doesn't, we have something leaks into the system? That would be my only concern with this project, since it is slight of a drop off there. Would there be any leakage into the ground? It would go towards the wetland.
I can certainly ask what steps they take. I assume, if they're putting in pools, I imagine that they have some type of.
Standard to do that, so there's no,
Standard.
any environmental impact as
Correct.
is
So-
nipped in the bud.
Yeah, and I can get that information.
Thank you, sir.
I believe he's also hired a pool company contractor to do it.
Oh,
Of
yes.
course, of
absolutely.
course, yeah.
Quiet pools, Northford. They're reputable.
So those are my only real concerns that I have for the project. I'll open up to the rest of the commissioners. If they have any questions for the applicant. Commissioner Bashan?
Do you have any numbers on, impervious and pervious surfaces? You said you're having stamped concrete patio. Right now it's a wood deck, so you're gonna have a lot less permeable surfaces.
I don't have any numbers. But I would
It's just,
imagine-
yeah. Once in a while, the commercial projects, they'll have that, but I wouldn't expect you to know it off the top of your head.
idea. He has the dimensions of 34 by 47 I think that's the whole big box. Is that all, there's gonna be a pool in there, and, so you can make that calculation as a square footage, at least on top.
So right now, there's nothing there except the pool that's impermeable,
Correct,
the above ground pool.
correct.
I can,
If the deck doesn't count, which.
you can see kind of it looks like a raised deck, which is typical around an above ground pool. And I think there's some kind of patio over in this area.
No, that's actually just a lower level to the deck as well.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I wouldn't call the deck impermeable.
No, it's not, no, it wouldn't be impervious.
So actually the raised deck.
Gotta hit it,
Pool
and
is-
go to the ground.
36 feet, you said?
The proposed one,
Yeah.
yeah, 18 by 36.
Wow, that's huge. That is gigantic.
Yeah, I know. Tell my wife, I said the same thing to my wife. But it's actually, so if you're looking at this, this image, it fits very much within the current parameter, so it's not gonna be.
Like from the end of the deck to the end of the garage.
So that's why I had them.
Box it out on the plan, kind of, because we were
I
looking
don't
at the
have that
same
plan,
area.
but, I saw it on
Here,
there.
I printed a copy.
Okay. That's all right. Yep.
Commissioner Haas, do you have any questions?
No, this answers my question.
Okay, Commissioner Lamette, do you have any questions for the applicant?
No.
Okay. That being said, we have to make a decision if a public hearing is required for this application. I think since the house is already quite a bit in the upland review area, I think it's confined to the applicants. I think the town is the butter here. So I'm leaning towards not having a public hearing. I will for comments from the rest of the commissioners.
I agree. I see no reason for a public hearing.
Commissioner Wabet,
I don't see any reason.
Commissioner Haas. you
I agree.
concur?
I don't see any
Okay. So that being said, we'll move to a motion on application 2023 for the construction of an 18-foot by 36-foot in-ground pool with poured concrete patio in the upland review area at 9 Grandview Drive. Owner applicant, contact Michael Cerullo. For a not a public hearing, so the activity will have no significant impact to the regulated area and will not require a public hearing. May I have a motion to that?
I'll make a motion to accept, that the public hearing is not required.
Moved by Commissioner Bouchard, may I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Mormet. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Passes unanimously.
Okay, we'll see you next month.
Excellent, thank you. I appreciate everyone's time.
items I gave you.
I will, absolutely. Appreciate everyone's time.
That's a big pool.
I'll break it in.
You're gonna be out there fishing out bugs, is what you're gonna be doing.
Thank you.
Moving on to section 7, old business. Seeing none. Section 8, application scheduled for public hearing. Application 2023-10, wetland map amendment at 220, 226, 226 rear and 244 Kitts Lane. Applicant Premier Real Estate Services LLC. Owner 220 Kitts Lane LLC, 226 Kitts Lane LLC, Kitts Lane Small Parcel LLC, Kitts Lane Large Parcel LLC. Contact Patrick Snow. I got a check from the kitchen on this one.
Parcel and different LLC.
Application for 2023-10 public hearing originally scheduled October 17th, 2023, has been scheduled for our regular meeting at November 21st, 2023.
And I'll just, if I may, Mr. Chairman, I'll just make the comment too that the documents and application are available online through the town website, so anyone can look at that from the public. And with any questions, feel free to call the planning office.
Thank you for that. Moving on to section 9, public participation and non-agenda items. Each speaker limited to 2 minutes. Particularly, is anyone online with their hand raised?
There are some online, but they do not have their hand raised.
Okay, we'll move on. Communications and reports, item A, agent communications. Mr. Hinckley, do you have anything to report this month?
So I did do a couple of agent approvals. One at 325 Hillcrest Avenue for a shed in the URA. And the other was at 312 Willard Avenue for a deck in the URA. For agent approvals.
Thank you. Moving on to item B, town council liaison communications. Councilor Draker, do you have anything to report this month?
Not really. I know that the town engineer gave a really comprehensive report about ongoing projects, road construction, drainage, whatever. And then detail off the top of my head, but I'm sure.
He talked about the grants, he talked about Robbins Avenue. We didn't really talk about Camp Avenue, but that came up, and just the main thing. And we're trying to hit more on those topics in the planning commission meeting as well. We try to give an update at least once a month of the ongoing projects. So. That it?
Okay, is Councilor Rada on the phone, online?
Yes.
Any comments?
Yes, I am. I have nothing further to report.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that said, moving on to item C, Pond Life Research and Education. Since Commissioner Paskowitz is absent this meeting, we will skip over that item. Moving on to item 9, adjournment. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Haas,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Bashan. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Have a nice evening. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
You hear people complaining about Robbins Avenue. I thought it looked all right.